I call the meeting to order. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's always hard.
Okay, comments from the public. Are there any public there or anyone on the
There are not.
phone? Okay, let's accept the minutes of the June 3rd meeting. We need to, hopefully you've reviewed them. Thank you very much, Angela, for sending them out. Are there any questions?
I'm just going to give everybody a minute to go through them.
Okay.
Okay. And if anybody would like to make a motion to approve those.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, Camille Broder,
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Oh, I'll
Mr. Plotkin, seconds.
Okay. Any questions? Any discussion? All those in favor, please accept the minutes by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, I assume I can't see your hands raised or whatever, but it was approved. Next order of business are my comments. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 25-26 Old Saybrook Youth and Family Service schedule. It has been printed for you. Hopefully everybody has a copy of that. Thank you, Angela. I'd like to welcome, even though I'm not there, the new students. I look forward to meeting you. And I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but this was a trip that we had planned, and it was a conflict. We didn't think it was a conflict, but it is. So I wish everyone a good semester at school, those that work at the school and those students that go there. And let's have a great fall. We have lots of activities celebrating the Youth and Family Service for their service to the community, and I hope that you'll be able to make them. Next order of business, introduction of student reps, Director McNeil.
Thank you. So Mr. Rafferty, I thought what I would do is actually go around the table and have everyone do their introductions, because then the student reps will get to know who everybody is.
Right, terrific, terrific idea.
Okay, and so starting with my left, if you don't mind, we'll just
Sure.
go, and we'll just go around.
Dave Plotkin, Assistant Principal, Old Saybrook High School, also here as a community member at large, as I live in the community and have children in the community too.
I'm Alexa. I'm a student at second year.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
Oh, I'm a junior.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff Harder, I'm a community at large member, two young kids, both in the school system, and I work at Wesleyan in the community.
Thank you.
I'm Karen. I am representing the.
And behind you, Taryn?
Hi, I'm Angela. I'm grader.
Thank you.
I'm Matthew Kidd. I'm a student rep, and I'm a junior at the high school.
Great.
I'm Cassie Garcia. This is my second year being a student rep, and I'm senior.
Thank you.
Camille Broder. I'm a member of the nursing board of public health, and community member, and I'm retired from nursing.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Lisa Castro. I am with the Saybrook Middle School counselor and I'm the school representative. I'm Jess Wood. I am the new program coordinator here at Saybrook Youth and Family.
And that was going to be one of my introductions in a few minutes. And so you already had the opportunity for that. And Jess is filling the part-time program coordinator position at 31 hours a week. And you want to
Congratulations, Jessica.
Thank you.
and maybe just tell a little bit about your schooling up to this point when you got here.
So this past spring, I graduated with my bachelor's in psychology from UMass Amherst. I'm somewhat local. I'm from East Lyme. And yeah, I want to get involved with kids. I love working with kids. I was a sub in the Old Saybrook district for a little bit. So I'm really excited.
Thank you. And welcome. Absolutely. And so the next thing on our agenda is, it's kind of new in the sense that we're formalizing it by having it on the agenda, but it would be a partner or commission member sector reports. And this would be, for instance, when the police department would talk about things that we're doing together. and or public health nursing board or the schools. And then for the students going forward, because I won't put you on the spot tonight because it's your first time here, to just think about things that you notice in school that are positive, or things, areas that you think we might be able to help kind of come alongside and strengthen some activity for kids or advocate for kids' needs in some way. The school district here is so good about that, but we know that you are involved in living that every day, and you may notice an area where you're like, hey, I wish we had more of this, or we had, more of that. One of the things we hear very consistently, and Mr. Plotkin is a huge advocate for this, is activities for especially 9th and 10th graders to be involved in. And we are working on something along with Park and Rec and now that we're fully staffed with program coordinators. So we'll keep you posted on that. But so we want you to feel confident and coming here to speak up. And if there was something that you felt required some discretion, you're always welcome to reach out to me if you don't want to have your discussion here in an open meeting. So this meeting currently, all town meetings are hybrid, which means people can attend. So we don't see them on here, but the meeting is recorded. So it does go out on our website. And so I mentioned that to you just in case you were, thinking that you wanted to share something you didn't want everybody to know about, but you want to talk to us about something important to you. Okay. Any questions about that piece?
Can I add a comment to that, Director McNeil?
Mhm.
Student input is invaluable.
Yeah.
We really, over the years, comments by the students have helped us change the programming for the middle school and high school. That is very important for you to understand. So as we go through this process this year, Director McNeil will discuss how you as individual students representing clubs or grade level, it's very important that you be part of this. You are going to be playing a very important role in this year's development of programming. So thank you for your service.
Cassandra, when I talk about the next part of it, I'm just going to ask you a question. So I'm letting you know now so you can be prepared for that. Okay. So the next part on here is our summer programming report. And one area of that has to do with something we collaborate with schools all year round, but it's a lunch program. And Susan Consoli and Kelsey Christensen in social services ran the food program here during the summer. We used to, it's evolved over time and it's shifted and changed. And I just wanted to share some stats with you and to also share that the summer food program was very busy here. And Sue and Kelsey are mindful about making sure we have gluten-free and other allergen-free options, which is relatively new. And we were able to cover some folks who we don't typically see having it here. We also had bilingual educators, and that's where I'll speak about Cassie and Cara Santapietro, and also Melissa Vasquez McCoy, working with us this summer. And Melissa and Cara both reached out to multilingual families who, again, may not have known that it was going to be shifting over here. And due to that, 52 families were reached that are typically on our social service list for programs in general. And 41 of those families with a total of kids in their home ranging from 1 to 4 children received bags, sometimes weekly and some every other week. The number of youth assisted was 82 consistently over the summer. So I thought that was an important piece for you. And so our other piece of it with the summer program was that Cassie was able to join us for many of the different trips and programs. Can you speak a little bit about what your experience was with students from multilingual families and how that having you there, I think, really made them feel comfortable?
I feel like especially one trip that really especially stuck with me was the Mystic Aquarium trip. There was a couple of students that I had recognized from helping out before the fall and spring, and with other family events and school events. And it really just kind of when they recognize you, just kind of slowly see on their face, oh, I remember you. But it's always in Spanish, and yeah, I think you do. And even just being in their presence, them knowing that they can rely on Spanish if they feel the need to, or if they just need, just kind of makes them a lot more comfortable and brings them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Cara Santapietro and Melissa were and Cassie were all over the school supplies event, and that was great because they could answer questions about school-based things, and it was really nice. So I'm going to speak about that. back to school in just one second. I did want to say thank you to Public Health Nursing Board because they fulfilled a grant request for us, which allowed us to do an education program over at the estuary for senior citizens related to opioid awareness and a Narcan training. And the big part about that program was that we have lock boxes, 3 different styles that we wanted to bring to folks who are senior citizens who may not know that they could use something like that, but if they have young grandchildren visiting their home, it's really important that they lock up their medications. So the turnout wasn't huge, but it was right in vacation weeks of August. So we are planning it again for October and then one more time in March. And the money for a lot of that stuff comes from the opioid settlement funds, but we needed some additional funds and the Public Health Nursing Board. Thank you, Camille, for helping with that. It was really, really important. And so identifying special populations within the towns is one of the criteria on the opioid settlement funds that we have. So collaboration that Ryan might have spoken to if he was here, but the PD and Youth and Family and Social Services, we did the back to school supplies program. And we moved it over to the McMurray Field this year because we wanted to have some activities. So it was open to all students, not just the ones who are on our social services list. We wanted to reduce stigma and just have it be open to everybody. So if someone wanted a backpack, they could come and get one. And the PD picked up a lot of the donations from Walmart, and then people had shipped things here through Amazon. So I learned that from the previous chief, where you embed the links in the flyers that go out and people can just click and ship, and it, it just makes it so much more simple and efficient for everyone. And so that was great. And they brought Sky, one of the dogs, and then we had Dabby's Event Services come, and he donated snow cones and a bounce house, so people could come and hang out and catch up with each other. And then having Kara and Melissa and Cassie there was great because they were just talking and talking, and people felt really welcome and included, and it was nice. Did you have any thoughts about that day?
I recognized a lot of the kids from Goodwin. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. Oh, and Cassie has become like a really serious face painter, along with Brittany. I'll have to show you some pictures. It was really, Brittany made her do a little training, and it was great. So really, really good. And we had healthcare providers there. We had the town nurse as well as Healthy Futures. So they had a lot of samples of oral hygiene supplies and other stuff. So that's great. So we have 2 big things coming up in September, and you all have an invitation in front of you for our open house. There's 2 different times there. Once during the day, and then 4 to 6 is kind of the evening portion, and there'll be some speakers at that, brief speakers, but also the senior strings will be playing for a portion of that outside. And if you don't know who they are, it's a group that Susan Consoli began post-COVID to teach senior citizens how to play violin, and now they have violin, ukulele, guitar, flute, and they might have a cello. It's pretty amazing. They've done a concert at Starlight Festival for us. They did one at the town hall, but they'll be here that night playing, and we're really happy about that. And then you can come in and we'll have an open house. You can meet staff if you haven't met them all before. And then we have the afternoon one because we thought some of our friends from the school system might be able to stop by at those times. But if you can't stop by, Jessica prepared all these. These are our anniversary cups, and so feel free to take one on your way out. Even if you can come, you can have 2. So, yeah, there's candy in there, but it'll be a lot of fun. And then a really big project is the bridge project, which is, you wouldn't mind tossing those around. So Lyme Youth Service Bureau and our agency are installed, well, our side is already done. We've installed signage for suicide prevention resources on the Old Saybrook approach to the Waldron Bridge. So one sign below at the bottom, and then one as you reach the access point to the bridge. It'll be the same on the old Lyme side. And this project came up, it was actually in the Harbor News this week, if you got a chance to read that. But in December of 2023, 2 state troopers came upon a woman who was on the, she'd gone over the fence of Waldron Bridge, and she was planning to hurt herself. And they were able to connect with her and draw her back over. And so this project grew from that. with CRAC and the Department of Transportation, who really wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to install these signs. And it's taken a while because there's a lot of paperwork, but we've been successful in installing. I have to thank Bill Claffey from our Department of Public Works. He got right on it, and ours are in there. The event will be 11 a.m. on Friday the 19th on the old Lime side. You'll see balloons, you'll see tents, the whole, you'll see a lot of commotion. And at that point, I think Senator Needleman will be there. We have Ann Daigle from the Brian's Healing Hearts Foundation will be speaking. There'll be several mental health providers with resources. And then Karina Using has some students at the high school who are involved in crisis text line. And we've offered to transport them if they would like to come and be part of this. I think it would be great. So the big thing about signage, it might seem like it's not a big deal, but in that moment when someone really needs help and they feel desperate, there's a QR code on the sign, and most people have a phone on them at all time. They can take a picture of the QR code and be connected to someone who can speak to them right away. And sometimes that intervention is the difference between them going forward and doing something damaging to themselves and stopping and thinking some more about it. So you'll see a billboard around town with that, and September is National Suicide Prevention Month too. So we're doing a lot of different programs around that. Any questions on those two big September things? Okay. Ryan Walsh, Acting Chief Ryan Walsh would have spoken about this, but I'll do that part. So JRB is Juvenile Review Board, and sometimes called JDB, Juvenile Diversion Board. So the State Department of Education is our largest funder besides the town, and they've really been encouraging all youth service bureaus to focus on juvenile diversion. And there's not a lot of youth crime in Old Saybrook, so we haven't had as much of a role as somewhere like maybe Danbury or Bridgeport or Meriden, for instance. But the police department and is going to partner with us again. We've always partnered with them around it. And what it is if a youth under the age of 18 gets arrested or in trouble for any kind of misdemeanor, and there's 6 categories of misdemeanor. It could be criminal trespass, maybe they break a window, or they climb up on the top of the Goodwin School or something like that. I'm not saying anybody's going to do that, but yeah. And then they and their parents will have an opportunity to come before the JDB rather than go to court. The appealing thing about that is court involves potentially a whole day up in Middletown. You have to take off school and work with your parents. Someone has to pay for a representation of a lawyer. And coming to the JDB, we can help put some restorative practices in place without parents having to go through that whole thing. So it's really a very, I think, compassionate approach. And because we do understand that phase of development, I will acknowledge that when I was that age, I did some foolish things, right? So we do know people make mistakes, and we don't want them to, carry that around for the rest of their lives. So this is an opportunity. So Ryan Walsh and Lieutenant Millardo and I attended a training, and then Adam and Trish, our 2 clinicians, and myself were also going to JDB 101 and 201, which is a requirement by the state. I know I'm just giving you a lot of information that may not make a lot of sense right now, but the tie-in is that I had proposed to the school through the attendance and truancy program that a possibility for parents would be referring here for 1 to 3 sessions, specifically for Adam, Trish, or I, who are trained in school-based. This is not in-depth therapy, but more about how to look at the constraints within the family that might be impacting why the student can't consistently get to school, so that we can help address some of that. And this setting and that environment might be conducive to making some real change. Because we might be able to identify different ways that the agency can help them that don't come up in those other conversations when it's within the school. Because there's a lot of different reasons, right, why they don't. Do you have any thoughts on that, either the school folks that are here, just in terms of?
I think it'll be helpful for, especially attendance, because there are sometimes students are out many days.
Yeah.
And there are some barriers that I think would be very helpful in having overcome.
Okay, thank you.
And I think as another resource, chronic absenteeism has been an issue since the pandemic, and I know it's an issue statewide. So having another resource in the toolbox to help students who are, in that school avoidant place, it would be really helpful.
Yeah, thank you. And there would be no charge to the families for that service too. I meant to mention that. So
we'll just have to, maybe we can get together at some point and iron out that process and
yeah,
how the referral
absolutely.
might work.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so the other thing, in the October meeting, would you mind telling me the date of that October meeting?
7th.
The 7th. That's going to be very important for attendance. We'll need a quorum for that because you're going to be looking at a slight change in the ordinance for the agency through the town. Carl is reviewing it at the moment, then it'll come back to you. And you'll see I'll actually email it to you prior to that time, but you'd be voting on that change. And then at that point, it goes to a referendum because the town has to vote on it. So it's not a serious change. It's not a big deal, but that's just the process politically that it goes through in the town. And then Mr. Rafferty and I have been looking at some slight changes for the bylaws. And it's been a summer long of a project, right, Mr. Rafferty?
It has. It's been actually longer. We're just updating so everybody understands. We're not trying to, reinvent the wheel. What we're trying to do is clarify. It has not been updated for a while, and we just want to make sure that we are current in what we're doing and that the town knows what we're doing, and it's a way to put in the bylaws. So Heather has done a great job organizing it, and we will present it on October 7th so you can vote on it, and then it goes through a process.
Okay, thank you. And then the last item I have, Officer Walsh would have spoken about this as well, but we've mentioned to you before the drug take back box, and he really moved forward with that at great speed. And so currently I'm in the process of ordering the box, and they're just waiting for some artwork that'll go around it. Because the state already reached out to him that they want to inspect it. And so he said, well, we don't have it yet. So, so we're ordering it and then it'll be here. But that's very exciting because a few citizens have actually reached out to find out why we don't have one and how to find one. And the Youth Service Bureau in Old Lyme does it with their fire department, but they're not an official DEA take back box. So it's not advertised on that website. And then the other one is in Clinton. So people have to go quite a distance. So having it in Saybrook is going to be very nice for everybody. It's a good campaign. And I just want to mention, you might have seen this in the Harbor News too, but Mr. Rafferty is getting a Beacon Award October 14th, and he doesn't want me to talk about it, but we're gonna. And so I just wanted to share that the Beacon Award, and it's nice, Jen Welsh, a former chairperson, and Deb Miles received it as well. And so we're very happy for you, Mr. Rafferty, and just, I'm very grateful for your service to the community, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed, for those that don't know, I used to be the principal of the middle school, and on my first day of work, which was November 19th, 1990, that day the administrators had a meeting at Youth and Family Service, so I got to know the former director and how it worked, and I have been working with the commission and the agency for a long time as a principal, but also as a parent and also as a grandparent and also as a community member, and I've enjoyed every second of it. I have volunteered a lot in my life for various causes, and I want to take no credit. It's just something that I want to help all kids and all families to be safe and do the best they can. And it's truly an honor, and I appreciate being nominated. I look forward to the evening.
Thank you. Two things that I forgot to do that I skipped right over. The new interns, David McNow is a student at University of New Haven in clinical mental health counseling. And Amelia Caney is from UMass Global. She's been with us actually since May. David just started. And then Kelly DeHart is with us until December. And she's been great. Adam Starr is teaching at UNH now and CCSU. So it's really a great partnership for steering interns our way, which is a great opportunity for us to get them involved in the school. And then we have a meeting tomorrow with the school counseling department up there to see how we might have some of the interns that end up with you, but have them in the summertime here. So that would be, that's very cool. And then I think that might have been it on my end. Oh no, freshman retreat. Oh my gosh. So today we were with Camp Hazen over at the high school. The weather was beautiful. The kids were great. Did you have an impression on how it went? Did you hear
Yeah.
anything from them?
Yeah, talked to both our link leaders and the freshman class, well, not the whole class, but a lot of the members of the class, and they had really positive things to say. That a high level of participation and
Yeah.
engagement,
Mhm.
which was good. And I think for coming back into that,
Yeah.
I think there was a period where there was a struggle there,
Mhm.
probably because of the pandemic.
Mhm.
So it's good to hear that. And yeah, our link leaders, our leadership,
Yeah.
stepping up and providing that mentorship role is awesome. So appreciate that. And it was a great event from what I hear.
Yeah, thank you.
From what I
Yeah.
saw.
It's your second day. What was your impression of the process?
I thought it went great. I mean, I think all the kids handled it really well. They were really mature. And like you said, just seeing people get involved, that maybe it takes them a little bit longer to get there was really.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you'd seen a lot of them really encouraging each other and being
Mhm.
very compassionate.
That's
and-
awesome.
Yeah, and so that's really nice. So we're very excited for Friday's day to take them over to Camp Hazen. The superintendent's going to come by, and Acting Chief Walsh agreed that the SRO could come too, and so that's going to be fun. So I know
That's a great report.
Yeah, thank you. I also
That's
go ahead.
I just want to say that it's a very important program to the agency, and they've spent many years providing a great service. But to their credit, in the high school administration and staff, through the years have changed a little bit here, a little bit there, and I think to be current in doing those types of things. But it sounds great, so thank you for the report, Mr. Plotkin, and good job to the staff and to the kids having a good time and getting to know one another.
Yeah, and it really was a well-oiled machine this morning. And I have to give a shout out to Cara Santapietro over at the school, and also Sandy and Amelia in the front office. Really went so smooth. Couldn't have been any better.
Terrific.
So, and then I noticed that I skipped over. I started with the partner commission member sector report, and I explained it, but then I went zooming by it. So I want to stop and come back around to see if any of the students have anything they'd like to share. Or since you're new, if you have any questions about anything. Okay. How about you?
Well, I was outside in my personal fitness class. All the kids were outside today, and I know for my grade, it was the 1 day thing. There was a lot of negative feedback with that, but I saw all the kids participating. They all had huge smiles on their faces, and that was just really nice to see.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think the 2-day model has been successful.
Yeah, and delaying it.
Yes.
A little
that's
bit
key.
further into the school year,
Mhm.
just by a week.
Yep. Makes all the difference.
Mhm.
And then having as many teachers involved today and coming
Yeah.
Friday has been great. Kids really liking that.
Yeah.
Anything from you, Cassie?
I was one of the crew
Mhm.
people today for the retreat. So, and I noticed that their grade, while it's small, it's very unified, I would say. So they all kind of get along pretty well. They
Mhm.
have their little, so I think that they had a really great time, that they're actually really excited for Friday as well.
Good. Okay. So one more shout out for the bridge project. Anybody who wants to come on that Friday over on the Old Lyme approach to the bridge, you have to go into the commuter lot and then walk over. But there will be Old Lyme police officers there to make that a safe transition for anybody. It'll be from 11 to about 12 o'clock. And then the open house, come at any time, stay as long as you want. We've been having a little freshening up the buildings and paint and things like that. So it's getting all spiffy. Everybody's clean. I'm hiding all my junk under my desk. So, but we'll have some, Angela's doing a great job ordering some special food items. So please stop by. And again, take one of those cups today and come back and get another one on the 18th. Any last minute things from you, Mr. Rafferty?
No, I was just going to go to the next order of business. Is there any old business? I think we're really pretty caught up, but is there any that we need to talk about at this point? Hearing none, then the last thing is new business and advocacy, reporting on initiatives by commission members. Does anyone of the commission members want to speak about anything that they're aware of or what they're doing? Hearing none, I would just want to remind the importance of the October meeting because we will be going through the bylaws and also electing officers. We do that annually, and any person that is interested in being president, or chairman, or vice chair, if you would send me a note on my email so that we know who might be nominated. You certainly don't have to send it beforehand, but it's nice to know who's interested. And if anyone has any comments, please bring it forth now. Otherwise, we will adjourn.
I don't
Hearing
see
none,
anybody.
hearing none, have a great day. The meeting's adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
Mr. Raff.